halting progress and destroying both my productivity and my credibility. The only alternative to this pattern has been when fear has overwhelmed even this pathetic process, stopping me from even starting. That said, I'm far from alone. Millions of people are stymied by their inability to get things done. They cannot get beyond the idea or initial thought, or perhaps the half-page of scribbled lines. Even if they take action, they can fall at the first fence, or the minute another, seemingly better idea takes its place. Many eventually surrender, assuming it takes skills beyond them, or that those that can get things done have innate gifts they'll never acquire. Of course, they don't. They've simply learnt the art and science of process. Indeed, process is a key word. As described within, there are conditions aplenty to explain our inability to deal with process. Yet there's also the fact that process is a skill we need to acquire, like learning to read a book from the beginning to the end, i.e., in that order. That said, millions of people enter adulthood without learning the basics of process. For me, the concept of thinking before acting, and then acting with thought given to sequence and consequence, was alien. The problem wasn't just impulsivity. Sure, I'd often jump in without thought, although I'd just as often not jump at all, perhaps when facing authority or bureaucracy, or when feeling fearful or lazy. My problem was being clueless with respect to time and task management, which meant my actions had no direction or purpose, while instructions felt like an imposition, hence my knee-jerk resistance. As we shall see, such cluelessness starts young, and is almost certainly the result of poor conditioning. Whether from influencers, such as parents and teachers, who were themselves poorly conditioned, thus merely passing on the malaise, or who we, for whatever reason, ignored or even rejected. And it's not long before we become resigned to our fate, developing low expectations regarding what's achievable, or assuming that somehow strong, goal-oriented productivity is for other people. We may even find a condition that suits our symptoms, perhaps excusing us from the fray. See Part 1. Yet there's nothing innate about strong personal productivity. In virtually all circumstances, it's a mere facet of learning. It's something we have to be taught, or something we have to teach ourselves if no one bothered, or we didn't listen. Blaming others for our circumstances, or assuming others have privileges and entitlements not available to us, is both disabling and self-fulfilling. Of course, we're right. Other people are probably to blame for our situation, and others do have it easier, and we may even have been diagnosed with one of the long list of conditions to explain our productive deficiencies. But using this as an excuse to languish at the bottom, to not even start the journey towards becoming a well-organized, goal-oriented and productive human being, is an appalling and willful act of self-sabotage. Someone, somewhere, has to tell us this news. And, more importantly, we have to hear it. Otherwise, like millions of unproductive people everywhere, we'll remain stuck in the wrong place, facing the wrong way, although with some cast-iron excuses for our lack of progress. Someone capable of achieving something. No mentor appeared for me, at least not one I was willing to listen to. Instead, I remained utterly ineffective until my late 30s. Of course, I did make some headway, but it was poor progress compared to what I thought possible, and usually dismissed by me as too little too late. Somewhere in there, I reasoned, was a person able to achieve great things. I just needed someone to spot it, give me a chance, and point me